Hi, welcome back to the show. It is officially December here in the winter wonderland of the great state of Iowa. Nathan Creeves joined by my co-host, Mr. Bryce Sportscheller. Bryce, I love Thanksgiving, and usually I love the month of November, but I'm very grateful and thankful that it's over with.
Okay. What's that about?
Um, Man, I don't know. I just felt so sluggish after Thanksgiving this year. Maybe it was all
Yeah.
the food I ate, and you could just never quite recover. I did do like a 4 day binge too, because we had multiple Thanksgivings this year and a
Yes.
lot of
Okay.
food.
Sure.
And I don't know, just by Sunday, you're sluggish and you have no momentum going with your life at the point. But so after today of work, I'm kind of got the electricity back into me. So
Yeah.
I'm just happy that the feast is over with and I can move on with my life again.
Okay. Very valid. We also had a couple Thanksgivings. It's a long weekend. Coming back on Monday, very very tough. And I agree. Once you get back in the flow of things, it feels like almost better. You sit around too long. You eat too much food. You watch too much TV. Stranger Things. Um, yeah, you get sluggish. Speaking of, did you watch any Stranger Things?
I did. I got so I started it. It came out Wednesday night at 8 o'clock at night, so I didn't get any watch time in because I was watching Iowa men's basketball. Thursday morning, I snuck in 15 minutes before my parents came over, basically deciding that we needed to start doing stuff for the day. So 50 minutes in, and it was killing me because you're terrified of seeing everything on social media, of like anything
Mm-hmm.
Stranger Things, trying to get no spoilers. But it's crazy how where your phone knows you're at in Stranger Things. Because
Mm-hmm.
I did finish it. I finished it last night, and the second I finished it, the first thing I get on my Instagram reels is like updated content from Stranger Things. So it's like a new when I finished it. Thank the Lord, and I'm just happy I'm caught up, so no one can spoil it
Yeah, actually, that's crazy that that happened to you because it also happened to me. I kept
every
waiting
time.
all weekend. We didn't have a chance to watch it really until last night, and yeah, I got zero spoilers. I lied. We did watch it a little bit with Scott and Dusty because we got snowed in. We'll get into the snow. That was a whole ordeal in itself, but I also finished it. I'm very excited for the next four episodes. The Duffer Brothers did it again. Fired up. It was good. There were some major moments that I did not expect. Whole time I'm trying to predict stuff, of course, and yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, we had lots of travel during the snow, lots of food. One Cedar Rapids Thanksgiving and one Cedar Falls. So all in all, great weekend. Good to be back on the pod. Like you said, get back in the flow of things because life needs to go on. We've got Christmas season ahead, and a little bit of break from the holidays would be good before jumping right back into another one.
So successful Thanksgiving, huh? Both in Cedar Rapids and Cedar Falls.
It was, yeah. We did turkey on Thursday. We did turkey on Friday. We fried a turkey,
Okay.
which Darian's dad's been wanting to do for man, I feel like 3 years now, and we finally did it. He got two different fryers. The traditional one that you'll see kind of like hung up, and you dump the turkey in,
Uh huh.
and then the one we actually used, which was more of like a square with a lid. And I'll admit, I think we made the wrong choice. It turned out okay. We did have to throw the turkey back in for a little bit because one side was cooked, one side was not. We weren't going to mess around with raw poultry. So we did have to throw it back in. And I think it's because this square little round contraption, I think I have the video I can throw up, has a heating element on one side. So some things that we took away. I think we can come back bigger, better, and stronger next time. Very fun to fry the turkey. I've been seeing that on TikTok for so long. So I really
That's it,
wanted to
dude.
do it too.
That's ballsy. Now, the
Yeah.
only time I see people frying turkey on social media is when the ambulance is there. Not the ambulance, but the fire trucks are there, and I've
Right.
never
And
seen
it's
it go
it's
well for
bubbling
anybody.
over and yeah.
That's crazy. Were you a little scared?
We were, yeah, and we were definitely in the moment happy that we had a lid and stuff. But I think that the important thing is to not throw it in frozen. Make sure it's padded dry. We did all the things right, so we had no big explosions or anything. But we're gonna go with fire next time. We're gonna get the fire directly underneath the big,
You gonna roast
whatever.
it?
No, no, it just this thing had like heating elements around the side or whatever. However, it warms up. Looks more like a convection oven, and the other one is more like just a pot with a fire underneath of it. So we're going to go that route next time because I think that's going to be more even heating. But either which way, it turned out delicious and would recommend doing that. I also saw some people on TikTok doing a little Cajun one where you don't even use oil. You use water and you just throw all your spices and basically make like a Cajun turkey. So fun to do something new. And I'm turkeyed out. I've had enough.
Yeah, I just finished another plate of turkey leftovers, and I'm absolutely sick of it. You got to see Santa Claus.
We did several times, actually. The first time was Wednesday night, prepping all the stuff that we were making at my grandpa's house. We went down to Cedar Rapids Hy-Vee, just off Collins Road. And if you're not familiar, that's kind of an interesting Hy-Vee. And we got to see Drunk Santa. Drunk Santa was walking around asking people if they wanted a picture. You didn't ask him if you wanted a picture. And I took a picture with Santa, so I'll throw that up on the screen as well. And then, we did go to Holiday Hoopla in Cedar Falls, which lives up to all the holiday hype. And, got to see Santa come into town Friday night as well.
Did he emerge out of some big thing? Did I see that right?
Mm-hmm, he did. Yeah, he came out of a Jack in the Box.
Oh, my God, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Cedar Falls Main Street is this party, week after week, they're just having something going on Main Street. And honestly, I think it's too much. I need to put a stop.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sick of it. Scotty
B
as
a visitor. Otherwise. No, Scotty B loves it. As a visitor, I don't mind it because it seems like there's always something going on when I'm there. I can see that as a resident getting a little sick of it. Mm-hmm.
I'm a little sick of it. I think it's kind of ruining the special place that is Main Street of Cedar Falls. You really can't ruin it, but I think they're overdoing it a little bit too much. But I also not been the Holiday Hoopla, and I've heard that's arguably one of the greatest events.
It's great. It kind of feels like a middle school talent show. I'm not going to lie to you. They have the brand new amphitheater, which I keep saying that it's been around for like 3 years now, and they have basically it feels like a K through 12 dancers, singers, and really great spectacle. And then the grand finale of Santa, and just very like almost cinematic moment right as Santa leaves. The big snowstorm of the weekend starts, so it just felt very Christmassy on November 29th.
Yeah, what a snow globe environment that is, downtown Main Street. You got Santa on top of it with one of the biggest snowstorms to hit the state of Iowa in the month of November. And I tell you what, I always talk about how sick I get of winter when it comes January. That's because usually we don't get snow until about late December, and I get sick of it 3 days or maybe 2 or 3 weeks after it. Man, I'm going to be ready for winter to be over by Christmas time this year.
Yeah.
It's always that first snowfall that takes some adjusting to get to, and you see everybody driving extra super slow, and I'm one of them. I'll be guilty. It just takes one time just to kind of relearn your habits of driving in the snow. Mm-hmm. But it's a reminder of how much more difficult it makes life.
Everything is a little bit harder to do.
Walking.
You don't want to go do as much. Yeah. Walking, driving.
Oh my
all
God.
Of it.
I slept 7 times a day. I've caught myself every time somehow, but a big fall is coming this year.
Yeah.
Because everything kind of like melted and then it froze over again. So it's a disaster for my delivery experience right now. I'm just slipping and sliding everywhere like it's normal.
I was going to ask, did you end up driving around the state today doing deliveries?
Yep. Yes, I did. Good. I did cancel we postponed one of my deliveries to Des Moines because they were getting more snow on top of it today.
Yeah, we did get some more today.
I'm like, as much as, hey, I just read a fact that I-80 is the most dangerous road in the country. Boss may move this to tomorrow. He's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So hey, listen. So the show came in handy for that fact. So I stayed in town, and then I got a big day tomorrow. But yeah, more snow on top of that today. Back to my Thanksgiving. Yeah, the parents come down Wednesday night, just low key Wednesday, Thursday. They hit the hay, and we were debating if we want to go up to New Hampton because of the snowstorm. And I ultimately came down to the decision, let's go up. But I was scared to get back because the last thing I want to come back to was a barricaded driveway of 1.5 feet of snow. I'll get to this. I'll get to that story eventually. But so we decided to go down to New Hampton because my in-laws is one of the best places you can ever get snowed in at. And I was not going to miss that opportunity to go into side by side and do some bar hopping around the small local bars of the great town.
I reached out to you on Saturday because we either had to go home to Des Moines on Friday or we had to stay for Hoopla and pretty much the whole weekend because the big snow started to come, obviously, after Santa. I'm like, hey, Nate, we're snowed in town. Do you want to go to the bars? And you sent me a picture of Actually, I'm on a side by side, and we're going to the bars. So that looks sweet.
Yep, you'll hear one of those bars on my list later. We only went to one actually,
Okay.
and then we eventually made it back, dude. That's how bad it was snowing. You could barely see outside the window of the side by side. We had a plow on one of them. We had two side by sides caravan to this bar, but went there, came back, and we got bored. So my wife decided it's time to cut your hair. I haven't. It
Oh,
was the longest my hair has ever been in my life, and I hate long hair. And I've been kind of talking about her doing this for the last couple of months, and
yeah.
this time I held off because I'm sick of paying $45, including tip, going to the bar and barber. I can't. No way am I doing it anymore. I don't care about my hair not that much, especially during winter time. I
Yeah.
have a
Wearing
hat on
hats
most
and
of the time,
everything.
anyways. So how's it look?
No, it looks great. I give Madison a lot of credit.
Yeah,
Sometimes that can be a disaster. I wouldn't have even noticed if you didn't bring it up. I think it
yeah.
looks great.
She took my mustache shaving kit and all the guards on it, and she was able to.
No
It's kind of like
way.
a yeah, yeah. They have like little fade ones too, and everything. I mean, she's working on it, but for a first time cut,
I
this ain't
wouldn't.
too shabby.
I wouldn't have even noticed. I think that Great Clips is fired.
Hmm.
That's
So
awesome. Now you
yep,
have a whole new skill in the household, which you can start charging for. I'm assuming here soon. I'm going to charge this. I'm going to charge this laptop quick. So she cuts your hair with. Are you going to invest into new equipment?
yes, I
Like
think
actually, I
I
think
think
that's
we
probably a good
eventually
move.
eventually we have to. We got to get some type of scissors that are meant for cutting hair. Because you can only do the
Yeah.
buzz cut so many times. Eventually, you have to put a little style into it. But for a first time cut, I'm pretty impressed.
No, congrats. I
And
mean,
like I said, it doesn't matter because I wear a stocking cap 24/7 during the winter, anyways. And then when my head gets hot, I just pull the stocking cap above my ears, so it's constantly on me. We
okay.
get
So you got bored. She cuts your hair. Then what?
my father buys this. My father-in-law buys a simulator, golf simulator.
That's not an impulse buy, but he did.
Yes, he was looking at it for the last couple of weeks, and it was the funniest thing ever. I saw him walk in and out of his office like 5 times in the morning. I didn't question what he was doing. Had no idea what he was up to. And I brought up the simulator. He's like, my right mouse is on the purchase button right now in that office. I'm just gearing up the confidence to do it. And then I'll
Amazing.
go,
So here's where he's a genius, and every father-in-law should take notes. If you want to see your daughter a little bit more, invest in the golf simulator, and I bet your son-in-law will show up a little bit more often.
that's exactly what he was doing. He's like, God, I need to get these people up here more. So definitely investment for himself, but investment to get my ass up there a lot more. And
Uh-huh.
I cannot wait to get up there. And ultimately, 20 minutes later, he's like, it's on its way. So he's been working
Awesome.
all week on that. He's got a big machine shed. He's got a heated machine shed that he's going to deck out the corner. It's going to be sweet. He's going to put a little wet bar there potentially. It's going to be sweet environment. I can't wait to send
Yeah.
pictures of that. So throughout Saturday, I was thinking, God, my driveway is going to be a disaster. I was kind of freaking out, but I had a hunch in the back of my brain. The only reason I went to New Hampton is because I figured one of my neighbors would not let my driveway continue to be punished by Mother Nature. Sure enough, we got a
Yeah.
notification on our Ring camera. Neighbor Dan
Hmm.
is burying the blizzard of 2025 and getting to work on my driveway. Did it Saturday night, and then we wake up to Sunday morning notifications, and he's right back at it. He looked just like Cousin Eddie off of the
Yeah.
Griswolds
Big
doing it.
big flaps and
Uh-huh.
oh man.
Big do too.
I like that you can kind of count on it. You almost knew, and he delivered.
Mhm.
And what a classic cliche Iowa and Midwest nice movement. So we had the same thing kind of happen. Unfortunate timing though. We get back finally Sunday. Not very good roads, by the way, on Highway 20. I would not advise Highway 20 after it just snowed. That sucked. We get home finally around midday on Sunday, and I'm like, please, please, please. Like, I think our complex is going to maybe plow the snow, but it's the holiday weekend, and it was still the weekend, so, you don't know that. Some kind soul had already done the street, or most of it, so we were able to at least get into our drive. And then we pull up to the driveway, and there's like 10 inches of snow, the record amount of November snow since 1968. And I get out, 30 years old, my bones are creaking. I get half the driveway shoveled, and I threw my back out.
How bad?
Yeah. Not bad. I feel totally fine now. That's
Okay.
the beauty of 30. I think by 40, that back's probably hurting until the rest of time.
Yeah,
But I was
well,
freaking out.
the the tough part about your situation is that so he conquered two stalls of my driveway, which is quite a bit. I got a decent sized driveway. Left the third stall undone. He just wanted enough for us to get in there, and now so I had to conquer the other stall, which
Right.
there's still a foot with drifts. There's about a foot and a half of snow there, and that snow hardens,
Mm-hmm.
becomes icy, chunky, melts a little bit, refreezes. So it's such a pain in the ass to attack your driveway a day or two after the matter of the fact. So
Yep.
it's a workout, man.
It
It's
is.
dangerous.
You want to know the funniest part?
What's up?
Less than 10 minutes after I'm done shoveling and like icing my back, the Good Samaritan comes with his snowblower and does the rest of our driveway.
Oh, thank God.
So if we would have been 30 minutes later, he would have done it. But instead, I get to ice my back and do all the cat cows and the exercises. And hey, I'm back, so I'm not going to complain too much. And shout out to that guy for taking care of the neighborhood. But I just thought it was kind of funny timing.
Yeah, it's no joking matter when you got a shovel and a foot of snow. I learned that the hard way 2 years ago in my first home experience. I said, nope, screw that. Went to Menards last year.
Got to get the
Wheat Farm,
snowblower.
got the
Yep.
snowblower. So we survived. It was crazy. Yeah, boys been begging for snow for Christmas. Hell, we got it for Thanksgiving this year.
We did. Came in really hot. And yeah, like you said, we'll have to see. We'll gauge like a thermometer how sick of winter we're getting, because I think now the polar vortex is rolling in. Going to get really
I
cold.
saw that Thursday.
Probably more snow coming.
Oh my God.
So it's
Okay.
here.
Okay. All right. Before we get to some Iowa facts, Bryce, please introduce a friend of ours.
Do you live in Mediacom? Wait, do you live in Cedar Falls or Waterloo? This Mediacom deal is just for you. Get 1 gig of internet for just $50 a month and lock in that price for 3 years. You'll get Era Wi-Fi equipment and unlimited data all included. Cedar Falls and Waterloo residents can call 833-354-0574 and lock in your price for Mediacom for 3 years. That's 833-354-0574. This offer, unfortunately, is only available in Cedar Falls and Waterloo for now. Taxes and fees are extra. Call for more details. That number is on the screen. Give it a call. Lock in that deal. It's really good. Nate just got hooked up last week, and he is crystal clear, looking great. So take advantage of that deal. It's a good job. I think what I was understanding, I think that why Mediacom is doing this is because CFU is taking away some of their cable package, doing a little bit different situation for Cedar Falls and Waterloo residents. So great time for Mediacom to come in and save the day.
I can't believe this is $50.
I
And
know.
just a reminder to people, this isn't a router that sits in the corner of your basement or some random ass room that you never venture into throughout your house. This is actually wired in internet for $50. And
Yep.
extra, I haven't had any issues in the last week. And usually a lot of my issues come from lagging YouTube videos,
Yep.
YouTube TV, my gaming on the Fortnite. I haven't had any of that. So
Yeah.
for the fact that we're getting for $50 a month, I'm actually blown out of this. And on
It's
top
a
of it,
great deal.
if you're lucky enough, you'll get the best customer service of your life from Jeremy. Still can't get over how awesome that guy was.
Jeremy sounds like the man, and hopefully you get him if you take advantage of this deal. Like you said, we got Stranger Things season, gaming, watching YouTube. Like, you don't need lags, you don't need all that crap. There's a lot going on these days. Everyone's on their phone, so you need great Wi-Fi, and for that deal, that's a lot of bandwidth. You can get away with a lot of streaming.
Especially when you have a foot of snow already barricading you into your household. You're going to need good Wi-Fi. You're going to need your boy Jeremy at Mediacom hooking you up.
Do you live in Mediacom? That will go down in podcast history. Okay.
All right, Iowa fact of the week, Bryce. Well, we just got a foot of snow. It has me curious looking at some of the snow history here in the state of Iowa. The snowiest day ever recorded in Iowa is 24 inches in Northborough, and February 25th through February 26th in 1912. Northborough, if you're curious, is very southwest Iowa.
Okay.
The deepest snow on the ground was 42 inches in Sioux Center from February 20th to February 22nd in 1936. The snowiest single season on record was 72 inches during the 1911-1912 winter. Hell, we're already a seventh of the way there. Actually, and hell, even some areas got probably more than just the 7. Yeah, actually, we have 14.5 inches in Waterloo. The snowiest season with one city in the state of Iowa, Bryce, is Waterloo, recording 64.7 inches in 2019. We were part of that.
No way. That was that year. I remember that. Yeah, that back when we were podcasting in the basement, we got snowed in quite a few times. So that actually makes sense.
Was that the polar vortex year?
That was. So we also got insanely cold temperatures, which I feel
Yes.
like we're on pace for that kind of year. It kind of feels like that already.
Dude, what a crazy year that was, man.
Hmm.
We had the polar vortex and we survived 64.5 inches of snow.
That was a
Shit.
year where all those Iowa memes in the snow made a lot of sense. And yeah, I full heartedly was sick of winter that year. Because when it's polar vortex, you really don't go outside at all. Right now, I'm fine. I can walk around in the snow. I don't mind.
Yeah, today
That
wasn't that
sucked.
bad.
No.
Today was like a high of 31. And for December 1st, that's probably about average. So December 1st weather records for Des Moines, Iowa, 66 degrees Fahrenheit is the highest temperature recorded set back in 1970. Lowest temperature, -9, recorded in 1893. Most precipitation, 1.42 inches, 1945, right after the Great War. Most snow, 5.7 inches, 1985. And your average high, Bryce, 41 degrees.
Yeah, a little colder and a little bit more snow than I think anybody anticipated. But yeah, nothing that, we're not breaking records yet. We're
We
close.
had
Not
we
quite.
had to break we had to break a record for snow. And there's no doubt in my mind
I
for
bet some
November
areas
20.
for sure. I have a graphic that I'll throw up later I think a little bit later in the show. I think Des Moines got very, very close to a record, but not quite.
Okay. All right. Bryce, you're going to love this story. We're looking at on this day in Iowa, December 1st. This is a very cool story. 1911, December 1st, Klondike Bill. What a name. Bryce, he arrives in Iowa City. He was an Alaskan mail carrier known as Klondike Bill, arrived in Iowa City on 7-team dog sled on wheels. Okay. He was in the middle of a massive journey traveling from North Dakota through Alaska, Canada, and eventually heading towards Washington, D.C. for a
Okay.
wager. His journey through Iowa City was stopped. His journey through Iowa City was a stop on a 62,000-mile trip.
What?
Klondike Bill.
Klondike Bill, insane aura. Anytime you roll into a town on a few wheels and a sled dog, you get immense clout right off the bat. Where was he going? Where
He
did
was,
he
head,
get all these 62,000 miles?
he was heading to Washington, D.C.
So just an Alaska to DC trip, 62,000 miles. And I wonder what he ended up doing there, just like I did it.
He was through North Dakota at some point. I don't know, Canada. So I don't know where, if he zigzagged here and there, but Alaska's a far freaking way. And hell, if you start at the northwest part of Alaska, that's a big state there, Bryce. Yeah, I just imagine rolling the bar and someone local was like, "Who's that?" Well, that's Klondike Bill.
Oh, he's the legend of Klondike Bill. You hear about what Bill did? What a guy. I
That
do
is.
wonder what he was doing. There wasn't Guinness Book of World Records back then, so that was probably all just for bragging rights and, for a couple guys to talk about him almost 110 years later, 115
Yeah,
years later.
feel for his dogs. One full seven of them made it.
That's really the story here, I
I
think,
hope
is that the
Klondike Bill
dogs
was not
made
a
it.
big guy.
Reminds me of Yukon Cornelius in Rudolph, the little wiener dogs pulling him. That old Rudolph. I'll throw up that picture. That's what I'm picturing for Klondike Bill.
All right, Iowa news, Bryce. November 29th in Des Moines, Iowa. Iowa Delta Airline aircraft slid off the runway due to icy conditions. Did you hear about this?
I did.
Caused all sorts of panic at the Des Moines International Airport. Happened around 9:30 p.m. that Saturday during obviously the major snowstorm impacting the state of Iowa. All 58 passengers were safely transported off the aircraft with no injuries reported.
Very good. Yeah, scary though.
The aircraft was traveling from Detroit, Michigan to Des Moines with no issues until landing on the ice at the Des Moines airport. The Delta Airlines, Bryce, did release a statement saying, "Safety comes first before all else, and we apologize to our customers for the experience."
Yeah, not a good look. That's kind of like worst nightmare fuel for everybody, especially this time of year. And Nate, this hits a little bit closer to home because Scott and I will be traveling Delta, and we will be going from Des Moines to Grand Rapids, Michigan. So not too far off from what the situation
Oh,
is. And I
shit.
believe there will be snow when we arrive. So this is terrible news as we approach a Delta flight.
Well, no, there's always that saying, like, if lightning strikes right there, what's the chances it strikes there again? It's almost that your odds are better, but you don't want to hear it. You
Yeah.
definitely don't want to hear it. Um, yeah, my brother-in-law is a pilot for Delta, and this is the last or aircraft brand that you would expect to experience stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is more something like, God, what's that yellow one? Spirit.
Spirit,
That's the
Allegiant.
Spirit experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
shit. So I have faith in Delta. I would
I'm
still
not
fly
worried.
Delta every single
Oh,
time. I'm pumped you guys are taking Delta.
I'll still get on the plane. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not that worried. I think it's either lightning never strikes twice in the same spot, or bad news comes in threes, and maybe we can be number two. But I'm still getting on the flight. I trust the good friends at Delta.
It just makes me got how because they had to shut down the entire airport.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the rest of the day, right? And I mean, well, it was 9:30 at night. God knows how long they had to shut down for the next day. But what a disaster it is for airport workers to have to deal with that and deal
Mm-hmm.
with pissed off, impatient people.
Yeah, this is a terrible time of year for traveling and airports. Planes being frosted over, they can't get people on their
Mm-hmm.
connecting flights. Scott and Dusty just had this terrible incident in Cedar Rapids in Florida
Oh
last year
yeah,
where they ended up having to come back to the airport the next day. They had baggage on the plane already. So, yeah, it's that time of year. You're going to have stuff like this. But who makes the final call? Like, why? One, why does this not happen more often? Or if the people that are normally pretty good at calling this like as inclement weather, we probably shouldn't have people flying in and taking off. Why wasn't this called sooner?
too much money to be made.
Yeah.
These aircrafts need to go out to make money. I've seen some scary footage on social media of like from the cockpit, and I always send it to my brother-in-law because he always makes me feel a lot better about. It. He just laughs. Yeah, that's exactly what we deal with. So I'm like, oh shit, that's normal. You guys
Yeah.
are going a freaking hurricane for us,
Uh-huh.
but there's so much technology going into it. But yeah, I don't know. It still gives you the back of your mind, especially last year. Remember last year, all the plane fucking crashes were going on in the
Yeah.
country.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Shit,
Making it big headlines. So I don't know. I guess we always just take
shit.
the. I
Maybe
mean, shit. Driving in Iowa right now is not much better. So I don't know
I
what's
guess you're
worse.
right. Shit, maybe I am worried for you.
I'll keep you
Yeah.
posted. We'll get a recap of. Remind us to put this in the show notes. A little recap of the Delta flights.
Okay. On a positive note, Bryce, football season is coming to an end here.
Thank
We're
God.
going to be ramping up some basketball content on next week's podcast, but we got to highlight Audie Crooks, 47 points versus Indiana Hoosiers last night.
She's unreal right now. She's averaging more points than she has minutes right now, if I'm not mistaken.
She is, and I would be certain to know that 47 points would only make that average a little bit better. And this isn't just against like Alcorn State, which Iowa State men's basketball is playing this week. This is against Indiana Hoosiers, who Iowa women have been probably one of the biggest Big Ten rivalries in the last couple of years. So it's
Mm-hmm.
an established program, a Big Ten program that she put up 47 points on. I think she was like 18 or 19 for 23 or something like that. That's absolutely
It's
incredible.
unreal.
Now, it's not the same style of points, obviously, as Caitlin Clark is doing, but Audie Crooks, we're witnessing between our very own eyes here of an establishment of her own brand that's
Mm-hmm.
really captivating America. We've heard from Pat McAfee a couple weeks ago on a show saying she's my favorite college athlete right now.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I feel like Caitlin Clark was kind of like the Stephen Curry, and maybe I've seen people kind of lob out there. This is the female Shaq. Like this,
Mm-hmm.
we're witnessing an entire different brand of basketball from Audie, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. So I'm excited. I think that this year you will see probably 20% more name recognition. We knew about her obviously because she went to your alma mater, but I feel like the country is about to learn about Audie.
She was popping off in high school off some social media, comparing her to like the female Shaq. And, she had a really good first couple of years at Iowa State, but the efficiency she's scored at right now and against good teams, this is going to be huge. And talk about perfect timing because, well, next week they host the Iowa Hawkeye women two undefeated teams, likely both in the top 10. I can't remember what
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State's ranked. I think they're in the top 10. Iowa women are at 11 right now. So
Mm-hmm.
they're coming in undefeated. Both the Iowa men's basketball teams are currently undefeated. Basketball is glowing up here in the state of Iowa because good Lord knows we need it because anything else outside of football, we can't produce 8-4 teams.
Yeah. I mean, it's time to move on. I don't know if you had the cover on the Iowa State football game, but that didn't hit, and they were playing the worst Big 12 team that they could have played. So yeah, let's move on. Very excited. I think the first net rankings just came out for the men, and Iowa made a little appearance at like number 16 there. AP still snubbing us. AP didn't really like Iowa this year, which is fine. There's more official rankings that will come. So yeah, let's move on to the better part where everyone's contributing, both men and women, of the sports season.
All right, Bryce. Some snow totals quick before we recap the Iowa-Nebraska game. Fort Dodge comes in at the high 15 inches. Calendar, Iowa, 14.3. I believe Waterloo took in about 14.5. Clarion, Iowa, 12.5. Tama, 12.1. Some of your state leaders from the great Snowmageddon of November. All right, I'm sick of snow. I want to talk about how Iowa just manhandled Nebraska for the 9th time, for the 10 of the last 11 times, 7 straight in Lincoln as Hawks rout the Cornhuskers 40-16. That was fucking awesome.
It was awesome. From I'm not going to say start to finish because it didn't start perfect, but it was a damn near perfect game outside of like 1 or 2 drives. Pretty much fun the whole entire time. Gronowski to Vanderzee, running down their throats, making their boy look a little silly. Hey, tough task, like following in Rayola's shoes, but it was fun. I had a blast, and I'm a little sad to see Gronowski leave the black and gold uniform.
Gronowski breaks the old-time rushing record for Iowa quarterback in a single season. He was 4 yards away towards the end of the game, and Kirk Ferentz, someone on the staff, clearly noticed the stat and said,
Had to do it.
We got to pull Henklinski. We got to pit Gronowski back out there. Sure enough, we run 3 QB draws and get him that stat. Savage
Had to do
at
it.
Nebraska.
Such a fun tradition. I love Black Friday. As long as Kirk's around, it's a second holiday. It really is. It follows right after you're a little bit turkey hungover, and you just know, like, there's a 95% chance this game is going to be ugly, but we're going to come through. This time it was kind of enjoyable.
It was fun.
I love it.
Gronowski, probably the highlight of the game was Reese Vanderzee. That one-hand grab was outstanding, which ended up being 1 yard shy of the touchdown. Kamari Moulton punches that in. But once the wheels started getting rolling for Iowa, there was nothing Nebraska can do. And making Nebraska feel so demoralized is one of the best feelings an Iowa can personally have in their lives.
Yeah, they have this game circled, not only circled, but it's what they're talking about in the weight room. It's what Matt Rule has basically made his Super Bowl. It's not good. I don't know if it was a Frost problem. It might just be a Nebraska problem, and I don't know how they fix it, which is just the most happy thing I can say. The fan base was cocky. We didn't have to even shit talk a lot. I think George Kittle really spoke for us, for most of us, I would say, after his Monday night win. And he shoved it in Will Compton's face, which was a lot of fun, that banter all week. There's no complaints from my end. Always a fun way to wrap up the season.
Yeah, one of my favorite traditions is obviously beating Nebraska and just looking at their social media, listening to all of their podcasts for the next day. I get so much joy. It's just, the funny part is I always listen to the week prior and how much hope they have. I just laugh, and I'm like, I've already left my cookies and milk out for Kirk because it is Black Friday Eve, and you boys are cooked because Kirk Ferentz does it again. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy that Nebraska cannot find a way with all the talent they get there.
I think a great benchmark, too, for how much better the offense has gotten. I know that we've talked about it so much this year because it deserves it. It's been historically bad, and now 40 points against Nebraska, who's not somebody to laugh at. Obviously, Gronowski leaves. I've seen a lot of the dialogue being between, do we go get another quarterback in the transfer portal? Do we try and develop Hecklinski or some of the guys on the roster right now? It's a tough one. I don't know the answer either, but definitely some interesting conversations to be had because Lester has done something here. I think Vanderzee has a year or two left. There's some bones of what could be a very good offense. You just have to open the playbook and find a guy who's willing to execute it. Do you have any opinions on this?
That's my opinion relies on Iowa's 8-4 season, and it's a good season, but frustrating, very frustrating in the fact that we have 4 losses by a total combined of 15 points. 2 of those are top 10 teams. 1 was a top 17 team on the road, and at the time, Iowa State was a top 17 team on the road. So incredibly frustrating. You couldn't squeak out just one of those wins. If you get to 9-3 and look back at the steps and strides we made in the offensive game this year and the quarterback play, I would be pretty damn pumped up about this season. It's just incredibly difficult to know that a team has not missed a field goal against Iowa since middle of September at Rutgers. Just little things that usually go our way in the big games, especially at Kinnick. They didn't happen this year, and clearly we need it. But we competed, which is, it's a stepping stone. But hopefully we can get a ranked team to play against in the bowl game and can get that monkey off our back.
Yeah, we need that bad. Very good monkey, by the way. So what do you think? Like, Gronowski stays, obviously, for the bowl game. He's a freaking champion leader of men.
Great ass leader.
Yep. And then what do we do after? Where's the direction for Hawkeye football? One, is Kirk staying? Do we develop a guy? We're going to go grab somebody and try to turn him into somebody?
I'm honestly scared to think about next year's football season because we're losing 20 seniors.
Yeah.
We're losing Mark Gronowski, who did everything he could to will Iowa to victories. And a couple of those ended in losses, but if you take out the final drive from the opposing team, Gronowski led us to victory there. And what an all-time quarterback. He fit the culture, and that's what I said from day one before he even took a snap for Iowa. I like this guy because he fits the culture. He's not an airhead like Cade McNamara. Fits the culture. I love him. So it's going to be hard to say goodbye to him in that fashion. And obviously seeing what he did on that field was just so gritty, and the leadership was insane. It is. I'm not going to even give him an opinion because I'm scared for next year. Hopefully we can find some dudes out there and get a quarterback that can come to our system that doesn't have to have surgery in his first 3 fucking months and can learn the offense, can gel with the offense, so it doesn't take him the first month of the season get going. That's my goal.
That's fair. And honestly, a lot will change. So I appreciate your patience here because you don't know what's going to happen. No Iowa teams in the college football playoff, unfortunately. But that's going to be on everybody's radar, and then the transfer portal opens up right around New Year's. So much will change. It's hard to even predict right now. And shit, yeah, like you said, so many graduates. Finally, this offensive line looks good after so many years of development. Now they're all gone. So
Kata Weegen's gone. Scary.
Underperforming. Fun season as always. I'm sad.
All right.
Could have been better.
Bryce, like it or not, it's a Cyclone state.
It is.
Damn, Iowa State caps off the 20-year drought against the Iowa men's wrestling team in Ames. Iowa State goes 8-4. They're even out Iowa right now.
Oh yeah,
8-4 is our signature record. Now Iowa State's doing it. That's how big of a Cyclone state it is. They're just rubbing it in our face. Iowa State escapes the 1-10 Oklahoma State Cowboys.
It wasn't pretty. They had moments where they could have closed it out. But at this point, I think they're just kind of limping to the finish line. 8-4, we're always happy with it, so they should be too. Just a team that you felt like could have probably competed for the upper quartile of the Big 12 and just kind of falls a little flat. But
yeah, I think they start with, what was it, a 5-game winning streak this year. Then they lost 3 or 4 in a row. Then end 2-3 game winning streak. So a season roller coasters for Iowa State. A lot of injuries again, but they just staple it and glue it back together and somehow get the job done. And 8-4 is what it is. Obviously, you want to be competing for the Big 12 championship, but hey, whatever. You're here. Go get yourself into their bowl game. Get yourself a 9 win season, and now you have 20 wins in the last 2 seasons. Incredible strides by the Cyclones.
Yep. Yeah, things have turned around for sure, and the expectations are going to be higher naturally. So 8-4 is not going to be as fun as it used to be probably for them. But shout out to the wrestling. This Cyhawk basketball game is getting more and more important because that wrestling match went their way. I think this is, we might have to parade Iowa State if they win both men's and women's basketball.
Queen sweep of the year.
Yeah.
Swept us in everything. Incredible. Sucks.
Tough.
Good for them.
Yeah. Good for Clone fans.
Massive.
For
I would say is a massive basketball game at number 1 Purdue Saturday. And I don't know if Taman Lipsey is back. Got injured in that Las Vegas tournament with
Yeah, is it a groin injury kind
a
of
growing
thing?
injury.
Yeah,
So I don't know the status on that. So I can't quite
been
comment on
fun
that.
to
But
watch him. I don't know if you've caught any of the Clones
oh
games,
god, dude,
but
he's
Lipsy's looking good.
shooting deep threes now. He's obviously the main
Hmm.
facilitator of that offense. Um, Cyclones look really good in Las Vegas, and obviously
Hmm.
Iowa's basketball team is unrecognizable without Fred McCaffrey behind there, and it is the most refreshing thing of all time.
Yeah,
Bennett
it's a
Sturge
collision
going off
course.
for that 29 points against Ole Miss. Hawks 7-0. Massive game tomorrow at Michigan State, which,
Huge.
in my opinion, is one of the best Tom Izzo teams I've seen in the last decade. So, going to
Which
be
is like insane because he's the guy now. A lot of the guys have left that are the coaching pillars of college basketball. It's Izzo, and yeah,
it
this
is.
team is impressive. Michigan is impressive.
Oh
Purdue,
God, Michigan is scary.
the Big Ten is tough.
Yes. So, Bennett Sturge, you averaging 40 minutes a game. This is gonna be a fucking gauntlet, brother. But I trust you.
Hmm.
I trust you, and I'm willing to sacrifice your body for my enjoyment, just like we did for Mark Gronowski. And look how we cherish him. So keep doing your thing, Bennett and Coach McCollum. We trust you. We know there's gonna be a game planned for tomorrow. Can't wait to watch the rest of the season. All right, Bryce. We'll be ranking our top 5 small town bars in Iowa, and this is probably the hardest list we've had to put together. Because if you were to ask me to do this list again tomorrow, I would come up with 5 different ones than I have right
Oh
now.
yeah, I mean I told you before the show I had to spend a little bit more time because I had actually forgotten to put my list together. It took me about 5 minutes to think of a few bars that I like, and one that's a little bit alarming because clearly you and I like to put a few back. We like a cold beer in a frosty mug. So it didn't take me very long. And like you said, I definitely could have added a ton more to this list. So this was kind of the first 5 that I thought about.
The main point of my list is all the bars that are in a town of a population smaller than 1,500 people. So I really want small town.
Oh, okay.
And
So it's to clarify, we did dive bars at one point. This is not dive bars. This is like bars that are just in a small town. I would like to clarify, I'm not doing a speakeasy. No speakeasies were added. There's about 3,000 in Des Moines. I didn't do any of that. I think that's an entirely separate situation.
okay, go ahead. Start us off with your number 5.
A bar that I wish I would have been able to go to during the snowstorm this weekend because it just has all the cozy vibes that you'd ever want on a snow day. Toad's Bar and Grill. I think it might be the 4th or 5th time I've had Toad's on this list or one of these lists, but it always deserves it.
So you don't even have small town bars.
I only have big town bars.
Okay. Well, now we got
Basically did the opposite of the dive bar situation.
Okay. Okay. So I'll be attacking the small towns. You're just gonna be attacking some of the best bars there are in the state. Yeah, great place, nostalgic place to do the interior direct decoration. Awesome there for the reasonable of the season. So yeah, that would have been a great place to be for a snowstorm. My number 5, Bryce, is Racers. Okay, it's located in one of the greatest town names in the state of Iowa, Sexton, Iowa. Okay,
Good name.
located about 13 miles east of Laguna, my neck of the woods. Racers is mainly a biker bar, but man, it's got some of the best pizza you've ever had, Bryce. And I believe the bar is actually only open on 1 week of the entire year, is when during the 4th
Really?
of July when Laguna, Iowa was hosting A Bait, and all the bikers come there. So you don't necessarily want to be there, but you want to appreciate the fact that 10,000 bikers are just pulling up to this random ass bar in Sexton, Iowa, and partying like it's 1985 or something, and just doing their
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I would
Scary,
love to see that scene.
salty
So
tune.
is that to your knowledge it's only or like in your mind it's only open at that time or is it truly only open?
I think it's actually only open during that time of the year now.
So
Just
cool then. Yeah.
so really, it's something else. I'm going to trace back with Jericho Joe's. This is my only dive bar.
Jericho Joe's.
Jericho Joe's
Nice.
is located in Jericho, Iowa, which, my God, it might have a population of 10 people. I'm pretty sure Sexton had a population of 20 people. So Jericho Joe's is as divey as a bar as it gets, just northeast of New Hampton. That's where we went for our side-by-side bar hop. And it's cool because it's a very popular trend where everyone gets in their snowmobiles or side-by-sides and they want to go to the Jericho Joe's. And you walk in there, you know you're in small town bar Iowa.
Those bars are sweet. I love a bar that accepts snowmobiles. I think
Mhm.
that immediately knocks you up like close to a 10 out of 10. Of
So you can get yourself a it's cash only, of course. You ain't,
course.
the credit cards are not get by there at Jericho Joe's, and you can get your most classic American burger for probably $3 there, or $4 or something crazy like that.
That's
And then you're set.
that's awesome. I love that.
Love Jericho Joe's.
Nate, my number 4 small town bar is Brothers in Iowa City. Not a small town. Clearly didn't get the homework assignment correct. I love Brothers in Iowa City. We've talked about this not so long ago. The beer ban on a Friday night before a game is a top 5 atmosphere. I've watched a ton of games there, and it's got almost a 100% hit rate if I'm in Iowa City. It's still one of my favorites.
It's automatic. It's automatic. You don't not go to Brothers when you're down at the Ped Mall. Classic place. Yeah, people are getting a good variety listening to this show. Getting the big town
Yeah,
bar.
you're getting like tiny, as small as you can get, and then you're getting the ones that almost everyone's been to. Because number 3, if you haven't, you should go. Hello Marjorie. In between a speakeasy and a cocktail bar, they do have like a little getaway area that's hidden. If you have been there, check that out. It's kind of cool too. Hello Marjorie will make you a fancy little drink. This is like sit in the corner, old fashioned, smoke a cigarette. I don't think you can smoke in there, but it's that kind of vibe. I think top 5 bar in Des Moines for me for sure.
My number 3, Bryce, the Janesville Tap.
Oh,
Okay.
very good.
Um, a classic stop for the party bus of the people of
Mhm.
Cedar Falls, Iowa. And I have one of my favorite stories coming off college from this bar. Bus. It's in between. It's in between this bar and on our way to Waverly. We stopped at the Janesville Tap, and I'm not going to give his name out, but a good friend from high school. We were celebrating another good friend's high school birthday, so we had a party bus during the middle of the winter. Go to the Janesville Tap. Great stop for a birthday party bus. All the locals
Mhm.
there always hate you. Don't blame
Oh
them.
yeah.
Now we're headed on our way to Waverly, and this so-called friend, he's a little drunk. I believe he starts trying to pee on the middle of the bus near the driver. She
Ooh.
was clearly not having it. She kicks him off. We're in the middle of nowhere in the winter, freezing. And I get off with him. I'm like, well, I can't just leave him. And I'm telling him, dude, don't worry. They're not going to just leave us here in the middle of winter. No, everyone's going to back us up. All of a sudden, you hear the music bop up.
Yeah, they don't. Everyone's like, we don't
Just
care.
fucking-
You
just
don't pee
leave
on the bus. We're leaving.
They leave us in the middle of nowhere, Iowa, in the middle of the winter. I'm like, what the? I'm like, well, I guess we got to start walking. I have no idea where we are. We're walking. I'm freezing. It's probably been like 20 minutes. Just another party bus comes and picks us up. Thank God. And then delivers us to Waverly, where we met up with the other party bus. And we eventually snuck them back on. And just the
Unbelievable.
same story. Just watch everybody just stare at us. And I knew everybody on this bus. It's not like I knew like 10 people. I knew
Right.
everybody.
It's not like you were a fringe friend and your friend Pete. It's
God.
like, hey, remember me? We graduated together.
Yes.
Like,
This, dude, I'll never forget that music. And then staring at us. Just, not one
so
person.
what's also crazy about this story, and kids,
That's kind of a lawsuit.
oh, absolutely.
Oh,
And, kids listening that are younger than us would be like, oh, get an Uber. One, it's Janesville, Iowa, and, you'd have to pray and hope that somebody from Cedar Falls, Waterloo could come and get you. But when we went to college, we didn't have Uber.
this was 2015 too, 2015, 16. So
So
no
you were
way.
just stranded.
Yeah.
If you didn't
oh,
have
yeah.
that party bus, you would have stayed.
Crazy. One of the craziest stories of my life. I can't believe that happened. But great. Yes, I love the Janesville Tap. Am I coming back with my number 2? Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. My number 2 is the Wild Hog Saloon in Walford, Iowa, just southwest Cedar Rapids. I've actually never been there. Okay.
Okay.
But my previous coworkers, her dad owned the place, and they went there all the time. They told me about all the stories. I follow them on Facebook. Some of the best concerts out there. They do these cool parties. Like this year, Bryce, they did a party bus together to Indiana Fever game. Drove all the
Oh,
way down there,
sweet.
even the bars. So the bar facilitates all these things, and just one of the coolest setups, man. And I love it. I love everything about it. And maybe someday these little feet of mine can step inside the Wild Hog.
With all the following and, lore that you've heard about this bar, I'm a little surprised you haven't gone yet. But yeah, that sounds like they got it going on. You got to visit. Me?
Yep, you're number 2 and
All
1.
right. Bellhop, another Des Moines one. Folks, I'm sorry. I scrambled. I just said,
Jericho, Iowa, going up against Des Moines. How the hell
yeah.
is my list supposed to work?
Another cocktail bar, very cool. Got a little Hawaiian theme to it. I'm a one trick pony when it comes to like fancy drinks. I know one that I like. It's an old fashioned. That's where I draw the line. So yeah, great spot. Yeah, they got cool stuff if you don't want just a whiskey and some orange peel. Highly recommend in the East Village, a little bellhop right by Ernie's. And then I'll circle back. This almost finally constitutes as a small town. Captain's Getaway, another one that I feel like I've mentioned before. In the middle of the summer, you're wearing a tank top, you're drinking a little mixed drink on the rooftop of Captain's Getaway. There's not a better feeling in the world. I love that bar.
Man, during the 4th of July, it's like beating Jumanji.
Yep.
It's the 3 levels. There might be 4 levels. I can never remember there, but once you get up, you got to get back down.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no more tougher tasks, especially in Okoboji.
Yeah, there's a few levels to that one. That can get a little dicey towards the end of the night.
All right, Bryce, my number 1 small town bar in the state of Iowa it's back in my neck of the area, Johnny's. Johnny's is owned by my cousin Jumbo.
Jumbo.
Used to own it. He sold it. Jumbo the legend was running Johnny's, and Johnny's has the best tradition on every Tuesday, Bryce. They do fried chicken. Ooh. And my God, I die for it. The wild rice, the fried chicken, the mashed potatoes and gravy, the bread, the scenery, the small town scenery. Half the people in there are my cousins. Okay,
yeah, those are vibes you can't really replicate anywhere else.
People who've already been fed up with the week are drinking at the bar. It's Tuesday night. They don't give a shit. There's a lot of chicken going
it's
on.
It's early in the week and they're already fed up.
People are accepting of life there, and I fully appreciate that. If you're the thief that broke in the Johnny's bar maybe a decade and a half ago and stole the signed Dallas Clark jersey, give that back to my cousin Jumbo.
Yeah, Jumbo needs that. That's unfortunate. What a cool jersey to have signed.
And Jumbo, speaking of Jumbo, Bryce, he was famous for his drink called the Einstein, and there was nothing more lethal or potent in this country than consuming the Einstein with Everclear in it, and ooh. It was scary. So a lot of party buses for weddings would stop there, and Jumbo would have 2 big bottles of Einstein ready for the party bus, and that was you were going to have yourself a very special wedding.
Good night. Yeah. Nate, you truly carried the small town bar list. I sincerely apologize to anybody that was offended by my list because that was not a small town at all. And it's really unfortunate because when I was thinking about my favorite small town bars, it's so easy. When I think about like the best bars in Iowa, it's like a list I don't really care about. And it's like, I do like the dive bars. I do like the small town bar. Like those are my favorite places to go, especially the older I get. I don't need to go to a 300 rooftop. I don't need to go to Summit. So yeah, I'm a little bit sad that I read the room a little wrong here. Great list by you.
Yeah, I would just love to see the Iowa Gallivant do a bar hop, instead of doing a tenderloin. That way you can really find out the true and best small town bar in the state of Iowa. That is something I would dearly like to find out. Maybe somebody will do it. We had the Pizza Ranch Conqueror, the tenderloin Conqueror. We need the alcoholic, the Conqueror, every small town bar in the state.
Yeah.
Give us this ranking.
That'd be awesome. And I would be willing to travel to those because I do feel like the really cool small town bar there's no better place on earth. The community, like you said, you can't replicate Cousin Jumbo. You can't replicate your family Jumbo. Being there. All the neighbors and friends and the stories that have been told probably 300 times, but they're always funny. They get a laugh. That's stuff you won't find at Bellhop, Hella Marjorie, Captain's Getaway. You'll hear it at Captain's, but I'm going to throw one honorary mention here for the hometown bar here in the Waukee Triangle. Kenny's Garage. We went there last year. Do you remember this?
No, I don't.
You did.
Oh, yes. I love Kenny's Garage.
Yeah. If you permit it, I'll throw a video of you dancing. If not, then I'll just throw Kenny's up there. Okay.
Oh, put me on there. Put me on there.
Again, doesn't constitute as a small town, but that is a small, what used to be a small town bar. And I love Kenny's.
That reminds me, I need to buy another Santa hat, one of my 10 feet long Santa hats, because some chick tried to offer me $100 last year on that bar crawl.
I forgot about that.
I wanted to do it. The wife said no, thank God. It's hanging up in the doorway. I can't wait to bust that out again this year. So
that huge Santa hat.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, good list, good show. So yeah, got a little bit of a fuzziness going on after Thanksgiving, but thanks for bearing with us.
Yeah, hey, we're December. We got out of the gales of November, the gloomy November, and this could be the best month of our lives, people.
All right. See you guys later.